So America is once again facing more water crisis. Hey everybody, welcome to the temple. My name is Monk Luigi. Thank you all for tuning in and coming into the show. I appreciate everyone that's been showing support, hitting that subscribe button, following and liking. So today we're going to cross an article going on further about us having some issues with water. Now, last video I did, it was involving North Carolina and how much salt water was coming in on the soil and eroding it and making the soil hard, and it's causing deforestation. This video, as you can see from the thumbnail, we're going to go ahead and talk about California. We're going to the west side. But seriously, this is an issue that's becoming more and more prevalent as the summer months has been coming along. So I wanted to get into this article and we're going to read this article. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and go over some of my scrolls or my thoughts on what I think we should go as far as this problem going forward. So we're going to go ahead and transition out and go right into the article, and let's do this. So transition, boom. All right, so as you can see from the article, it states mandatory water restrictions likely for Santa Clara County residents as feds cut supply. Yes, exactly. Santa Clara County, that's in California, that's close to Silicon Valley from what I was able to look up, is going to be facing some types of restrictions. Now, this news article was done May 27th, so that was about 2 weeks ago when they was going forward with trying to place restrictions. I haven't seen any new articles yet, but as soon as I do, I will do a video on it. But we're going to go ahead and get into this article, and then I'll give my thoughts to this. So as we continue forward, we're going to read this. Santa Clara County is likely to be the next Bay Area locale to face mandatory water restrictions as California's drought escalates. Officials at Santa Clara Valley's Water District said Wednesday they are worried about meeting the region's water demands after the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation announced earlier in the day that it was reducing water shipments to the district by more than half. At its June 8th meeting, the Valley Water Board is expected to consider that restrictions will be necessary to preserve the county's water supply. The constraints will almost certainly include cuts to outdoor watering, amounting to at least a 10% reduction over last year's total household use, and could go further. The district is already asking county residents to cut consumptions voluntarily by about 10%, which would amount to a 25% cut from what was used in 2013, the year that preceded the past drought. Today's announcements regarding another reduction in the amount of water Valley Water receives from the Federal Central Valley Project directly and adversely impacts our county's water supply. Valley Water Board Chair Tony Estromera said in a statement, Valley Water is deeply concerned about what this means for our communities and our regions. In addition to getting about 55% of its water from imports, the South Bay District pumps from local creeks and aquifers. Since Valley Water is not a retail water supplier, instead selling to other agencies and private companies, it cannot unilaterally impose restrictions and will have to work with retailers to achieve the desired cuts. The wholesaler provides water to more than a dozen communities in the county, from Gilroy to Palo Alto. The district's largest retailer, the San Jose Water Co., said Wednesday it would follow Valley Water's guidelines. If San Jose Waters proceeded with cuts, it would be the biggest retailer in the Bay Area to impose restrictions. The company serves just over 1 million people. The Marine Municipal Water District and a handful of smaller suppliers in the North Bay have already moved forward with restrictions. On Wednesday, officials at the Federal Bureau of Reclamation announced that they were reducing water deliveries because their many reservoirs in the Sierra Foothills, part of Central Valley Project, were running low. The agencies reduced allocations for municipal contractors to 25% of what was restricted, down from 55% projected earlier this year. For agricultural contractors, the allocation dropped from 5% to no water. The cutbacks are especially hard for Valley Water because the district's largest reservoir, Anderson Lake in Morgan Hill, is drained for earthquake repairs, leaving less water in storage. So, as I've read this article, as you can clearly see that there are going to be imposed water restrictions for Santa Clara County residents. And this this news article brought me back to a documentary. It was called Water and Power, a California Heist. Now they have a trailer. This was done in, I think it was 2017. Yes, 2017, where they made this documentary about California and how water, for every time the usage of water is utilized in California, it's like spending a lot of money. It's like fool's gold. It's California's gold rush there, water, right? Now this documentary, I'm not going to play the trailer because I don't want to get hit by YouTube's algorithm on, you know, copyright infringement. But they have also another website over here that shows that, which called a nice little synopsis of what the documentary was. Again, I remember watching this on Netflix. It's not there anymore right now, but it was a really good documentary. I would highly suggest everyone to go ahead and watch it. This one goes on to the San Luis Dam, and that's in two different cities from what I was looking at, in the map in California. And I would highly suggest everyone to watch this documentary. And the reason why is because it goes on to how a lot of people in higher positions are affecting people in lower positions when it comes to how much water is distributed across California. Specifically, this was focusing on not San Luis Dam, but it was focusing in a different city in California. But again, as I was told as I grew up, one hand always washes the other. So I'm pretty sure that this is something that's throughout the state on how they would distribute water from each aquifer. And from the maps that I showed you in the other video, which I'll probably post up somewhere here, right here, from the maps that I showed you, from this map here that's being shown to you on the screen, it clearly indicates that a lot of the water that America receives is from groundwater. Well, that's number two. And number one is going to be waters that are surface water. Everything else is a smaller percentage. So I say that to say this, my thoughts on this, clearly, I find it funny that we're supposed to be a first world country and we're having water issues. Sorry to say that, but it's really, really funny. Or maybe it's just ironic because, of course, we know of other countries that are having or facing these problems into a more extreme where they don't even have the opportunity to have water at all that's just even palatable or even drinkable. But I find it really, really funny that we are going through a water crisis and we're just beginning to get into the summer months. And I know California gets hot faster because, you know, it's west side and it's always warm, it's always hotter. But I find it funny that on one side of our country, they don't have that much water. And then on this side, on the east side, we have too much. Now, in my opinion, the best way to solve this is, I think that we should do it the way that the Navy does it. I'm not understanding, or maybe I don't have a really good grasp on how water is obtained or how we receive water, but I know that there is about four different processes of distillation, which I'll probably put up here, so that way I can show. And I know for sure that when you're on a naval ship and you're out there in this big ocean, there isn't another ship that's coming in with fresh water to go ahead and be able to be drunk, to be able to drink and wash yourself and take care of yourself as individuals with over like hundreds of thousands of sailors who float on this big ocean, this big ship liner. And some of these ships are as big as the Empire State Building. Yeah, some of these ships are as big as the Empire State Building. And they literally have the ability to have water daily. And you can't really live as long without water than you could without food. I believe in less than a week, you can pretty much like die without water. So I would say that we would have to, in my opinion, we should take steps to go ahead and do like distillation. I don't know how we're having issues as a first world country with water. And I'll probably show like the distillation process somewhere over here. I don't know, I don't understand how this is an issue. In the documentary that I mentioned initially, they showed that like for a month or 2 months, and again, it's called Water and Power California Heist, which I'm gonna show up here. Again, so that way all y'all guys can see it. In this documentary, they literally showcased the impact of not having water for about a month or two, where people couldn't even shower, they couldn't even use the bathroom, they couldn't do nothing. And in my opinion, the easiest way to solve this is to use the ocean water that's literally in California. I don't understand how come you're literally, because California is the furthest part of our country. So I'm not understanding how it's a difficult issue to use all of that ocean water that's there, purify it, clean it, and then redistribute it out through the land. Now I understand that the soil itself, it's hard to irrigate. In the documentary, they talk about how the irrigation process is getting more difficult for the land. But having water used by the people, the inhabitants, that shouldn't even be an issue. People being able to drink water, people able to take a shower, people able to use the bathroom, that should not be an issue in this country. So I'm not understanding it. Maybe somebody can go ahead and give way to credence in the comment section of this channel, because it's not making sense to me. Because like I said, I know of sailors, of people who go on these naval ships for years, months to years, and they have water. And I'm thinking it's because they're using one of the techniques of the distillation processes. So that's just my thoughts coming from my temple. I think that if they implement this, and there should be an easy way to do it, they shouldn't have any problems. Other than having oil pipelines or bringing water all the way from the north end to the southern end, oil from the north end to the southern end, we should have water, a way to receive water from either the north end to the southern end, or just use the ocean water that's literally right off the coast of California. But hey, that's just my thoughts coming from my temple. What do y'all think? Do you think that having or being able to have potable water should be an issue that we're facing in 2021? In 2021, we should be facing this type of issue? Or do you think that this is something that should have been easily resolved? Like, we shouldn't be having this issue. I don't know, man. Just, share your thoughts. Put that down in the comment section. But hey, I might be off base. Maybe I'm hitting this one and it's coming to a short stop. Or maybe, just maybe, I'm knocking this one out of the park. Either way, please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications as I continue to upload more videos and more content. So I'm coming straight to you from the temple. And also, if you're not aware, put up a picture right here. Look, I got a Twitch channel too, guys, so you can go ahead and catch me out there gaming and streaming and talking and chilling and relaxing and just vibing at the temple. So if you don't know about that, it's also called Monk Luigi. You can check me out. I'll go ahead and game on specific games and chill, relax. And you can go ahead and catch me every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday throughout the weekends. If you ain't got nothing to do, just go ahead and hang out. We can just chill right there. And please, thank you all for coming to the temple. Remember, this L is for you.